Yes, Mr.
Right, ladies and gentlemen of the press, my name is Kit Nascimento. I think you all know me.
And you're here in what capacity?
I'm here in my private capacity as Kit Nascimento. I am not representing any organization while I'm here, and I'll tell you why I am here. I saw a conference held here by Cathy Hughes, and that is what has brought me to this rostrum. I have known Cathy Hughes for a considerable period of my life. I have known her father, Hugh Chumley, a great deal better. And I have known that family to be honest and to have integrity. And I am totally appalled and shocked that Cathy Hughes should descend to the level she has today. She came here and spoke to the media as part of what has become a transparent APNU AFC determination to ignore the recount and to present a series of undocumented, unproved, unsourced claims that something went wrong with the elections while the election was being held on March the 2nd. The same election that even David Granger endorsed as being fair, honest, and credible. So they are now in contradiction, Cathy Hughes and all the rest of them, with their own leader. But that's not unusual. We know that when Mr. Granger and Barrett Jagdeo agreed to invite CARICOM here, we know what happened. An APNU candidate, Unita Moore, goes to court to try and stop that. Why have I come here? Because in my capacity as an observer for the Private Sector Commission, an accredited observer, as you can see, I'm an accredited observer, I witnessed not once but twice Mengo totally, fraudulently, and in an ugly and obvious manner refused to use the legal statements of poll and resorted to a spreadsheet that had no authenticity, no one knew where it came from, and invented a set of figures to result now in a declaration by Lowenfield that still stands because the GECOM chairman, instead of putting that to the commission and having it rejected out of hand, has allowed it to stand while this recount that we are outside of is being held. But the commission...
Sir, you said you had some accusation against...
I will answer questions at the end, like everyone else. Please. If you don't mind.
I'd like you to get to the
I'm
point.
not like... I am very much getting to the point. And the point I am making is this, that GECOM is holding a recount which has been agreed to by the chair and GECOM and by all of the commissioners. But instead of abiding by this recount, we now have persons like Cathy Hughes and Aubrey Norton. And I just see the former Attorney General here ahead of me, attempting to bypass the results of the recount, to get around that, and to claim that the entire election process was faulty, when they had every one of their agents present when voting took place. And it is virtually impossible, the system we have, for persons who are not in the country and claim to have been emigrated or claim to be dead to have voted. And they have not provided a single piece of evidence. And I am shocked that someone that I know and work with professionally like Cathy Hughes should be lending herself to that disgraceful performance. There is, let me repeat, so far, not a single piece of evidence provided by the APNU AFC coalition to support the so-called claims that they're making every day during the recount, and now coming on the platform and making the same claims. I'm disappointed when Cathy Hughes was here that the press didn't ask her one question. And that is, do you recognize that Mingo behaved in a totally disgraceful and fraudulent manner, and that the world saw it and rejected it, and the Chief Justice sent him back and said, do it properly. And then he failed to do it properly again, which is why we are now in a recount. So I came here to point out that Cathy Hughes should be ashamed of what she's doing. And she came here and lied to you. One of you asked her if there is what happened during the claims and objections. And what did she say? Oh, she said the claims and objections was too short and was delayed. Absolute lie. The claims and elections and objections on the instructions of the chairman of GECOM was extended and lasted for 49 days. I think it's 49. There was ample opportunity for claims and objections for any party contesting this election to have rejected the list. There was ample opportunity during the voting for every party agent who was present to object to anything that was out of order or wrong. None of that happened. And now, when the recount figures are revealing that Mengo's figures were false and fraudulent, now they're looking for another way of avoiding the result of the recount. And let me remind them all that David Granger himself has said he will accept the result of the recount. I'll take your questions.
Mr. Nascimento,
And could I know who is?
yes, I'm sorry, Sean Emmerich and Deborah Williams.
Yes.
New Stockbridge, Guyana. You did mention also, apart from your private capacity, that you are observing the election from the private sector commission. So as an observer, have you noticed we're into the 11th any anomalies that are credible, that are legitimate anomalies that have been raised during this period of recount? Any at all?
Not a single one.
Not a single one.
No. They have simply said they are anomalies. They've simply claimed that they're anomalies. They're doing all of that to get it into the report that is then read out to the media at the tabulation. But they have refused. In fact, Cassie Hughes herself came here and refused to give you any evidence. She said they're seeking a meeting with GECOM. To do what? To have GECOM disprove their anomalies? So the answer to you is no.
Okay, would you agree that one's personal information should not be thrown into the public just like that? And if in any case, if there, and the reason for the observation report is to know that, and then once you have evidence to substantiate your claim, that will be submitted to GECOM.
Well, yes, I do agree. As a matter of fact, in my other capacity with the Private Sector Commission, we have written to the chairman of GECOM. And that release, I believe, went out today, in which we have pointed out to her that it is most unfortunate that that observation report is being read out as though it is factual when it is not. And it is replete with a number of claims which are not supported by evidence. Are there any other questions? There are other reporters here. No? Please carry on.
Mr. Nascimento, you said that Mr. Mingo, the recount is bringing out the fraud that Mr. Mingo purportedly committed.
Well, what the recount is showing is that the figures don't match.
Let me finish my question. We have not counted so far. We have not counted 10% of Region 4, which is what Mr. Mingo was responsible for. We have finished Region 1, and we are now in the process of counting Region 2, 3, and 5, along with Region 4. So on what basis are you saying that the recount is bringing out or showing up figures that Mr. Mingo declared wrong when he is only, or he was only the returning officer for Region 4, and we do not have not 10% of those ballots being counted and they started from?
Because every comparison from the count that's coming out of the box with the figures that Mango declared so far have shown that Mango's figures are grossly inaccurate. A straight comparison.
We have commissioners coming out here, GECOM's commissioner, along with political persons from both sides, who would have agreed and said that they did see anomalies. In some cases, in 2 cases, there were affidavits and certificate of employment that were unsigned and all of that. Aren't they legitimate anomalies?
Yes, but so what?
But you said you didn't see any.
I have not seen any that are legitimate. That is what they say.
I did ask you before if you saw, and you said you saw not one.
And that is correct. I have not.
And even with that, so that's why I'm asking. Those are legitimate.
You're naming what a GECOM person said.
Yeah, because I'm not in there.
Well, no.
So haven't you seen anything like that?
No, and I haven't actually been to any of these sessions yet. But I have read every single one, because the Private Sector Commission reports on everything that happens there, every minute of every hour that happens. So we have the reports coming back, and I have read them all.
So your summation is based on report provided by somebody else and not what you have seen
reported
specifically?
My information is from reports that our observers have sent back to us, yes.
Thanks.
Are there any other questions? Thank you very much indeed.